All right, y'all. So the reason for this video today, and I had to think a lot before I shot this video because I know we're in YouTube space, we're in the internet where every and any motherfucking thing you say will be held against you in a court of the internet. Okay, they'll take anything you say, sound bites, and be like, especially in the comments, well, bro, how can you say that? Or you don't know the history of this. Listen, right now, this is just my opinion. This is just something that I need to get off my chest. And this is actually open for discussion because I don't have all the answers to everything. Okay, I am not an internet god. I'm not a Zen Buddhist. I don't have all the fucking answers. Okay, so don't take my shit and quote it to anybody saying that, the all-knowing Rashad said this. Rashad don't know shit, but Rashad got something to say. I went to a free screening last night, y'all, and I'm gonna try not to be too long-winded here. I'm an old head, so I can go a while with this shit. But I went to a screening yesterday for a film called The Nickel Boys. All right, it's based off a book, and this is a true story about this young man who was falsely imprisoned for something he didn't do, of course. Takes place in the Jim Crow South. So when I saw Jim Crow South, I already said, yep, this movie's gonna piss me off. In a lot of ways it did. And he was on his way to this college. He had his whole future ahead of him and he gets locked up. So imagine watching the movie Life, but take away all the comedy. That's pretty much Nickel Boys, right? And I'm gonna do a full review on that movie because they don't drop till December, so I'm gonna wait a little bit closer to the release date to actually release a review on the movie. So I'm not even going to say whether I liked the movie or didn't like it, but I just want to say that when the movie went off, right, and it was, there was critics in there, other critics, and I don't know, I was just thinking, I said, you know what, this film is technically sound as it is because it's got that gimmick where it's shown from the POV, so like in a violent nature, but better, filming wise. And I just kept thinking on the way driving home, I said, you know what, I was thinking about the current state of black cinema and where black cinema is, where it was, and where it could possibly be going. So, like I said, I'm an old head, all right? I'm a child of the 80s. I can still remember I think I was 5 or 6 years old, going with my older cousins to go see Crush Groove at the RKO Theater, right? I was a little rinky-dink theater in my neighborhood, but it was a all-black crowd. We went to see Crush Groove. This is when hip-hop was just starting to go mainstream with Run DMC and LL Cool J and all them, the Fat Boys. And man, even to this day, I still have fond memories of going to see that. And there were black films that came out at that time where there were events. You'd like your Crush Grooves, like Breaking, even though is Breaking technically a black film? I guess so, we claim it. You know what I mean? Friday, House Party, Do the Right Thing, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Malcolm X, Crooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like, these were all event films that were stapled, and not only stapled in black households, but when they came out in the theater, we actually wanted to go see these movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember wanting to see Do the Right Thing more than Batman. That's a damn lie. But, yo, I'm capping, y'all. Nah. 89 was the summer of Batman, but you see what I'm saying, though. Black people showed out in droves to go see Do the Right Thing. Now, the culture is so different. Like, it's not like that anymore. Nowadays, as much as I admire the modern black filmmaking style now, because now it's a lot more artsy, it's a lot more professional. You know what I'm saying? Like, back then, it's like, okay, well, that's good for a black film. But now there are black filmmakers that are just as good as everybody else. So, you know what I'm saying? Just to even say black filmmaker, if you didn't know the color of the director's skin, you wouldn't know if it was black or white, which is a good thing. But I came up in a time where the culture, you know what I'm saying? It was all about the culture. And I don't know, man, because I can see people saying, well, Rashad, well, why do you want everything to be divided? I don't want things divided, but I just remember what it was like going to see films about minorities, from minorities, and the pride that we had going to see ourselves on the big screen because our stories weren't told like that. Like, where I grew up, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'll tell you what, my neighborhood is where Goodfellas was filmed at. So you watch Goodfellas, that was my neighborhood. But that wasn't my life on there. That was from the perspective of Italians, okay? I was in that neighborhood, but you didn't see my black ass. So then you come with a movie like Do the Right Thing, Mo Better Blues, I'm seeing myself on the screen. That's what I'm talking about. So yes, I like where we are, where that there are more opportunities now for black filmmakers more than ever before. There's no doubt about that. But as far as the content that's being put out, you know, as good as Nickel Boys is technically, it's not going to get a big push. It's one of those movies that will be probably considered for awards, but it won't get like a main theatrical release, you know. And even last year, there was a movie last year that came out, 1001, which is one of my favorite movies from last year with Tiana Paris. A film that nobody's seen. Even black people didn't see it. Yo, I would call my cousins up and be like, hey, have you seen 1001? What's that? Then I would tell them about it. They'd be like, oh, I'm good. You know, so back in the day, it wasn't like that. Back in the day, we would all get together and watch these movies because it wasn't that many of them. But when they did come out, you know, the studios knew who the audience was, so they would put them in the theaters where they knew that black people would go to. You know, so I don't know. I guess everything is cause and effect, because I guess right now that there's not a demand for those kind of cultural films, and if there is, they throw it right to streaming. So you have like Amazon, you have Netflix, which, you know, I think Tyler Perry probably has like a 30-picture deal with Netflix and Prime. So it's either one extreme or the other. So either it's the super serious artsy film from a black artist, or it's the buffoonish, stereotypical, exploitive, goofy ass comedy that even black people say that don't represent us, that's not us. You know what I'm saying? It's one extreme where there's no balance. Okay, who's the next filmmaker that's gonna bring balance to the force? Who's gonna be the next Spike Lee? And I'm not talking about Spike Lee style, but who's gonna be that next director that comes in and says that's the guy, and then everybody kind of not falls in line, but follows the trailblaze after that, you know, because after Spike, we had, you know, Robert Townsend, I'm gonna put Keenan Ivory Wayans in there, John Singleton, the Hughes brothers. All right, we need that director that's gonna come out and kick the door open and say, this is what my people want to see. This is good. This is what's gonna bring my people to the theater. And at one point, I thought that was Ryan Coogler, and it still might be. I think Ryan Coogler had to get away from Disney to finally do what the hell he wanted to do, because he has a vampire movie coming out with Michael B. Jordan, which looks fucking fire. I can't wait to see it. But when Ryan Coogler dropped where am I at? Because I don't want to lose nobody, y'all. When Ryan Coogler dropped Black Panther, that movie gave me hope, because I said, damn, here we go. A big budget, even though Marvel and Disney is behind it, but still a big budget film made by a black director with a predominantly black cast. You know what I'm saying? Set in fictional Wakanda, which is in Africa. Man, everybody in the auntie came out to see that movie. Even if you didn't watch movies, child, I'm going to see Black Panther. That's the time I remember. That's the era that I remember, when a black film would come out and everybody and their mama, their auntie would go see it. And then years later, it'd be on TV. And on Sunday, while we eating Sunday dinner, we would sit down in front of the TV and we'd watch those old movies. Like, I remember The Wiz, you know what I'm saying? I remember The Wiz, for some reason, coming on Sundays and watching that while eating Sunday dinner with the family. You know what I mean? Black Panther was that movie, and something happened after Black Panther where we just started kind of going backwards, where the quality of the film kind of increased, but the demand and the dollars were not there. So take this year, like, I'm on Letterboxd, right, and I have a list of all the films that I've watched this year, right? So when it comes to black films, right? So for example, Mario Van Peebles dropped a cowboy movie this year, right? Called Outlaw Posse. Dope film to me. Nobody really knows about that movie. Do y'all know about Outlaw Posse? What? Damn, Mario Van Peebles came out with a movie? Yes, but you don't know it. No marketing, no nothing. He's independent, but nothing. You know, and nobody supported the film because nobody knew about it. Affion Crockett, I'm probably saying his name right. Affion Crockett came out with a hip hop story. I had to go to the website and pay $20 to watch that because AMC wouldn't screen it. It's not on any streaming platform, not even Google Play. I had to go to the site and watch it, yo. You know what I mean? They're not putting these movies out there, but then when I did watch a hip hop story, it was alright. It wasn't bad, but still, I wanted to support it, and so. I don't even know what I'm saying, y'all. I'm just, when I watched Nickel Boys last night, it just made me think, because the crowd that I watched it with, reading the room, nobody was really feeling that movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say even myself, I thought that it was a very technically sound film. It was done, like the cinematography, the camera angle, the shots, You know what I'm saying? Like there's very innovative camera techniques that they use to shoot this film, and it was POV, which was very original. But the film was just boring. Like, everything was technical, but the director forgot to tell a compelling story. And the story is what kind of keeps the audience, you know what I'm saying? And by the second act, they lost us. I had to go to my happy place to keep my eyes open because I didn't want nobody to hear me snoring. Like, that shit was boring. And I'm like, that's been what it was lately, man. There's no, like, where's the fun? I guess that's bottom line. That's what I'm saying. Where's the fun? And there's no fun black culture movies anymore. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that gets black people, you know, ready to have a good time. Everything is so serious. Why so serious? Even something like, I said this in my review on Letterboxd, you take Shawshank Redemption, which is a serious movie, but they were still able to inject some humor and some fun in there where it's about entertaining too. You can't be this all serious. You got to be able to entertain. All right, as serious as Malcolm X was, Spike Lee managed to make Malcolm X an entertaining film. He gave us laughs. He tugged at every emotion, and that's why that movie worked so well. So I don't know. I guess, you know, Rashad, do something about it. Damn it, maybe I should. Hell, I went to film school. You know, now I sit here on YouTube and I talk about movies, but I did go to film school, so I do have a little bit of experience as far as shooting something and writing something. So hell, maybe I need to be the change that I want to see. Maybe I should, you know, stop talking and get behind this damn laptop and cook up something that I want to see on the big screen. You know, that's what not Mario, but his pops. That's what Melvin did. Melvin got tired of seeing black people as nannies and butlers, and, you know, as Eddie Murphy say, Sidney Poitier with his hair not combed. You know what I'm saying? Even though he was a good actor, but, you know, they had his hair looking raggedy, and he said, "Okay, I'm gonna do something about it." He made Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song. And then Hollywood took note and said, well, shit, because Hollywood didn't think black people went to the movies. When Sweetback came out, Sweetback broke all kind of independent records. It was like the highest gross independent film for a long time. And then Hollywood said, okay, well, let's make Shaft. Let's make Superfly. And then the blaxploitation era was born. And then now these movies are coming out like fucking assembly lines because black people are coming out in droves to see these movies. So they underestimated the black dollar, but then what happened, hence the name blaxploitation, the quality diminished and those movies just got bad. Black people stopped going out to see them. And I think The Wiz was, speaking of The Wiz, right, that's a beloved movie now, but people don't realize that The Wiz was probably what killed the blaxploitation era, because when that came out, that was like the first big budget black film that was distributed by a major studio, and it bombed terribly. Why, I do not know. I listen, I wasn't even born yet when The Wiz came out, but that movie bombed. It cost the studio a lot of money. And what's the saying go? They get 3 strikes, we only get 1. That 1 strike was all it took. And they said, psh, and no more blaxploitation. And after that, all the stars end up becoming side characters in other movies. You know, the 80s was a time of jive talking sidekicks with the Jerry curl and breakdancing in the boombox, and we were the cool character, but we were never the lead character until Spike Lee came. You know what I'm saying? Spike Lee changed everything in the mid 80s, you know, late 80s or whatever. But yeah, where black film is going, I don't know, y'all. But I don't want to say it's dead, but I guess as far as cultural movies like hip hop movies, you know, and maybe hip hop has something to do with it too. You know, what the popularity of those movies in the 90s was because hip hop was like at its peak, you know, so you wanted to go see Boys in the Hood because Ice Cube was in there. You wanted to see Juice because Tupac was in there. You wanted to see Menace to Society because Too Short was in there, MC8, you know what I mean? So Jason's Lyric, yeah, Tretch. And then the soundtracks, you know what I mean? The soundtracks, not only did you go see the movie, but then you stopped at Sam Goody or what's the other popular music store? I forgot. In New York, it was Sam Goody. You stopped, you got the soundtrack, and you bumped that soundtrack. That no longer exists. What's the last black film you've seen that had a dope-ass hip-hop soundtrack and that was actually dope? You know what I'm saying? As far as the movie goes, I'll wait. See? Yeah, can't do it. So I guess just like hip-hop died, you know, hip-hop culture and movies died as well. But it's not all bleak. You know, it does look promising. We do have some talented black filmmakers that's doing their thing. But look, I don't want to see no more Jim Crow stuff. I don't want to see no more slavery movies. it happened. We do have movies that show the history of that. Let's move on. I want movies created where my kids can be like, look back and say, damn, we love watching that growing up. My son's 8 years old, and my son doesn't have a Beat Street or a Crush Groove or a Do the Right Thing to look back on. You know what I'm saying? My son, his memories are Venom. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. He doesn't have those type of movies to look back on. Like, I even try to show him Martin, and Martin was a staple in my household back in the day. But, I guess now this generation, Martin's like kind of corny. But, you see what I'm saying, right? Come on, we're family now. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm kind of rambling. I'm going on 15 minutes now. I know I lost some of y'all at like the 3-minute mark. All right, so I'm going to shut up. But, I'm concerned about where black films are going. But look, maybe I'm just old. I'm stuck in a time where it was a big deal when a black film came out. We all went together to go see it. It was a tight-knit community. It was a cultural thing, and it was hip. You know what I'm saying? Like, we knew that not everybody was going to understand Juice. Not everybody was going to understand House Party. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all loved House Party, but House Party did resonate with other cultures as well. So, I really can't say that. But, yeah, man. Hip-hop died. Hip-hop and movies died, which means now now it's just serious, artsy black films that nobody's going to see. And that's kind of where it is now, unfortunately. Even something like Book of Clarence, and I love Book of Clarence, but Book of Clarence is one of those movies where, it's going to be an acquired taste. But, I'm looking forward to going to see something that we can all get together and have a good time with and, walk out talking about it, go get the soundtrack, remember it from the music and quote it years later. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, I can quote that whole scene from New Jack City where Nino Brown did when they was in all black. I can quote that whole movie from beginning to end. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got movies like that no more. Bring them back. I'm gonna have a drink and help you. I'm gonna have a drink right now and I'm gonna cook up something to hell. Maybe in a couple of years, man, you're gonna see a film written by Rashad G to bring the culture back together, man, and have a good time again. All right, yo, this is a long ass video, but yeah, I'm out, y'all. Peace out. Comment freely what y'all think below. Tell me if you think I'm full of shit. I'm just a bitter old head. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, even say dude shit. I've had people tell me shut the fuck up. It is what it is, man. But yo, comment below, man, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you dig this content. I'm out.